Here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. And I'm so privileged to have with me today Akela B. And I'm thrilled you're here. We've been talking backstage, and I think we're going to have some fun today.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for being with me. We're going to talk a little bit about Akela's the way she came to be. Let's put it that way. And a lot of it has to do with Sun Psychic Jean and some friends of hers. So she could tell us that story. And I did notice that I think it was Kathy 11. If you're watching later, thank you for coming back. You'll have to forgive me because I don't watch any sports, and so I have no idea when they're on. So I just want to say that, and welcome to. Oh, we're getting some folks in here right now, so this is great. This is wonderful. So we have Christine's here and Samantha's here. Diane, MJ 420, Brenda T. Imagine, Shondell, Mary Thornberry. Thanks for being here so far, ladies. Yes, and welcome. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Akela's background and her wonderful accent, and we'll be doing some readings. But today we're not going to do anything on politics. I just need to have none of that today, okay? Hi, Dupree. It's nice to see you. And Diane G. It's nice to see you too. So yeah, everybody, get settled in, get in your comfy chair, get your drink of choice, and kick back and relax, and let's have some fun. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So I want to let Akela tell you how she happened to trip into a metaphysical fair back in the Washington, D.C. metro area.
Yeah.
How long ago was it, Akela?
This was in December of 2020, I think. No. Backtrack. Move forward a little bit. 2021, because COVID.
2021.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
COVID.
I figured it would have been a few years here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
time's moving so fast, I'm losing track of when. But
I know. No, I totally get it. Yeah.
Once you were able to get back out into the world,
right,
is when I tripped upon this metaphysical event.
Yes. So do tell us. You've noticed them before, you said, but you never felt like going, or you didn't feel called to go.
Yeah, I never felt called to go. At work, a coworker had talked about these events, and I never really was interested in it. And then, like I said, I lost my brother in 2020, and it so happened the event was coming back on, and this coworker shared it with someone else. And this other coworker, she comes to me and she says, "Hey, you want to go to this metaphysical event?" She told me what it was, and I said, "Oh, sure, I'll go." 5 of us went, and we saw Sun Psychic Jean was doing a live medium psychic event. So all of us said, we are signed up, we are going to this. And all 5 of us sat in Jean's session, and I was in awe. And this is Sun Psychic Jean for everyone just sees. And after the event, Jean was giving out discounts to live readings with her. And I signed up for it. I was like, what is it going to hurt? And in that moment,
you were caught.
It was just, and I swear, and Jean has always said this as well, I feel like my brother had a part to play in it.
Sure.
Because I've heard of this event and never went. And then we just connected with Jean. And then, the next thing I know, I'm in practice sessions, enjoying, because I'm growing, I'm learning. And now I feel like, oh my gosh, other people I can talk to who
understand you.
Yeah, they understand and have been through some of the things that I've been through. So I was like, I'm home.
And then, of course, following Jean over here to YouTube and working with Jean. Akela has been on with Sun Psychic Jean several times, with the Crone Zone as well, she said, and a couple of times with our Ron Unconditional Love. And so it's very pleasing for me that Jean said, "Oh, Akela's ready. You should have Akela." I said, I'm doing it. And she was very gracious to accept my invitation. And so I got really excited when I heard her accent. And so she told, I knew she was from the islands, but I didn't know where from. And
Yes.
oh,
Yeah, so I am from Trinidad and Tobago, born and raised.
uh-huh,
Um,
uh-huh.
it's funny because I spent half of my life in Trinidad and then the other half here in the US.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
go home. I used to go home a lot more frequently. And
Mhm.
everyone chuckles when I say I go home, right? Because they say, "Isn't this your home?"
Yeah,
But
right.
that's
That's
my
your home of origin. Right.
right.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
origin. Yeah.
Yeah. You
So,
still have relatives that live there as well?
oh yes, I have a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of relatives who live there.
Oh,
And then
okay.
my best friend lives there, so I always go back and
Oh.
spend time with her as well.
Isn't that lovely? That's wonderful. I was telling her that the first person I ever met was from Trinidad that worked with me at a bank I worked in 1980, and he was just wonderful. He was so much fun, and I'd never really met anybody from the islands before, so it was
No.
really nice. It was really nice to meet. So a few more people have come in. We've got Wayne Rich here. We've got Amanda Carroll. And we have Anya Ashdowns here, Judy, they are, and Jill. And thank you, everybody, for being with us today. Yes. So Akela is continuously learning and growing in her work, like most of us are, because if you don't practice, if you don't do the work, you feel a little rusty. And
Mhm.
so I want you to be aware that, she didn't have a problem coming on. I'm sure she'll do fine. But if she has any, she knows she can also say, I don't know, I'm not getting anything. And that's perfectly fine because I've said that before myself. So, it just depends on what they want us to hear sometimes.
Exactly.
So,
Look,
yeah,
when you said that and I got chills.
that's right. Because we're really just an instrument. We're
Yeah,
like a speakerphone for them.
for
That's
them.
all. Yeah, absolutely. I had asked her if she had ever had any kind of prior experiences before all of this opening for herself. And
Yes.
so, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you had when you were a kid, or whatever
Ooh.
else you want to say? Yeah.
So my first experience, I think, okay. So I can never remember the correct age, but I always base it off of when I lost my grandmother. So I
Okay.
had to be around 7 or 8. And my mom, my siblings, we went to visit my grandma, and I'm sitting on the couch. All of us are, back in the days,
Sure. Yeah.
everybody's gathered around. I'm sitting on the chair, everyone's on the other chair. And you have this feeling that somebody's watching you. And I'm like, what is that feeling? So I turned to the kitchen area, and there's a gentleman hovering. Yeah,
Oh,
half of
wow.
his body is, and I don't know if anyone remembers, but back in the 70s, late 70s, um, we had these blinds. They were like strips, colored strips that everyone would hang at their kitchen, right? It was
Yes.
like
Yeah.
colors of the rainbow. So we
Right.
had,
Right. Yeah.
and this gentleman is the upper half of his body is out towards me, and I couldn't see behind. So I didn't know what it was. And I
Right.
freaked. I pulled a blanket because there was a blanket, and I'm like shivering. And my mom says, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "There's a man in the kitchen. There's a man in the kitchen, right?" And she
Uh-huh.
says, "There's nobody in the kitchen." So I turned, and the man is just there looking at me, but my mother couldn't see him.
Couldn't see.
And
Wow.
I am terrified.
Uh-huh.
And she says to me, "If you don't cut that crap out, I'm going to send you to bed."
Jeez.
But guess where the bedroom is?
You
I
have to
have
go
to
through the
walk
kitchen.
past the
Yeah.
kitchen. So
Sure.
oh no. So I
Right.
just sat there shivering because this person is just there.
Right.
And I now I realize that he wasn't there to scare me or anything. I
Mhm.
think I'm understanding that that was my time to start. Like he was warming
Waking
me up
you up.
for what's to
Yeah.
come.
Yep.
Um, so the next morning, my grandmother, she was alive at that time, she came and she said to me, "What did you see?" And I
Mhm.
described the gentleman because I can see every side described. And I said to her, "He had on a hot pink pajama top." And she says, she kind of like froze. She didn't say anything. She froze. She was,
Uh-huh.
and then like a few days later, they tell me that that man, he passed way before I was born. There were
Oh,
no photos of him in the house. It was my great grandmother's ex-husband. There were
oh
no
my
photos of
goodness.
him. They buried him in a pink pajama top. So my grandmother was floored.
Yeah, yeah,
And then I've had, other than that, I've had other experiences.
yeah.
Um I had my first paranormal kind of like scary one when I was about mm, 34, 35. But
Hmm.
that one I think was for me to help the child that was being attacked. I
Okay.
myself didn't know what it was because again, I hadn't been exposed to this community to fully understand.
Uh-huh.
And what
Uh-huh.
a lot of people don't may not understand is that in the Caribbean, and I guess here too, right? When you start saying that you see stuff, you feel something touching you, but there's nothing there, they think you're crazy, or you were just dreaming, or things of that sort. Um,
Hmm.
so I was really, really excited to find this community
Yeah.
and realize that it's okay and to be in love, because
Hmm.
once you don't live in fear, because that's what some of the beings, the not so light beings, are trying
Right.
to
Want us
induce.
to be.
Yeah.
Yes. They want to
And
keep us held down. Sure.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Wow.
so yeah,
Wow.
so I've had a couple of experiences I've always shared with my family and my close friends.
Uh-huh.
Um, and thankfully they didn't judge me.
That's
All
good.
my mom says is just now, she says, you know what you've experienced, you know what you've seen. Don't
Right.
let anyone take that from you.
Oh, well, that's good. At least she came around, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, you have children, don't you, that are older? Did they
Yes.
have any of these experiences too?
So yes, I would
Yeah.
here's when they were 4, maybe 3.
Hmm.
We went to New York for my grandfather. My grandfather had just passed. So we went to
Hmm.
New York to make arrangements and stuff, right? And
Hmm.
as we were approaching it's a church funeral home, everything's right in this one spot. The youngest of my daughters, I have twin girls, the youngest of the two says, "Ooh, there's a lot of ghosts around here." No, I didn't see them. I didn't see anything. So it was me, my girls, and my mom. A gentleman is walking in front of us, and he spins around and looks at my daughter. And Alice, no lie, we don't know where this man disappeared to, because he's saying this child is saying all these ghosts. So she was seeing the souls
Yeah.
walking around the area.
Uh-huh.
And but she's even said she's seen a woman in our house. And I've told
Okay.
her, I
Mhm.
said, does she make you feel uncomfortable? She said, oh no. I said, but if she ever makes you feel uncomfortable, you
Yeah,
have a right to ask her to leave. She's making you
sure.
uncomfortable. I've seen the woman fleeing. I've seen like the end tail of her
Oh, your
skirt.
skirt.
She
Yeah.
was um,
Wow.
yeah, but
Wow.
she hasn't. Now they're in high school. So,
Okay.
the mind is not
Yeah.
like it was when they were that
Yeah.
younger.
I
But
know. Yeah.
always acknowledge anything they've brought to me. And I have
Uh,
also taught them not to be fearful because they
absolutely.
have control.
Oh my goodness. You are so right. And if there's ever a message that everyone should take into account, whether it's children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, little people,
Mhm.
um, they need to know that you don't say, you don't see that. What's wrong with you? We have to say, okay, what did you see? And oh,
Yes.
that's interesting. And I did that with my son. He could see my spirit guide, and he actually knew her name. And he was
Wow.
3, and he's talking to me and telling me, or where did your spirit guide go? Basically, at 3 years old, and yeah, and he's nothing like that now, but I do think that there are people that I want to say wake up in their 30s and 40s.
Mhm.
But sometimes it takes until we're in our
Yeah.
50s, 60s, 70s to wake up.
Yeah.
we may have had this earlier, but we kind of blocked it
Blocked
out.
it up. Mhm.
So I'm thinking if your girls, especially the younger of the two that have seen these things, they'll probably come around at some point when it's something that they're going to want to
Yes.
reinvigorate, let's say. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's
And it
awesome.
always the fear, don't be fearful. Just
Right.
whatever it is, just
Yep.
send it love. Even if
That's
you,
right.
because I've had that happen to me where in my room, now that I've kind of like developed, one night I
Uh-huh.
was dreaming, and I shared this on another channel, but I was dreaming and I saw a being walk into my room, but all I can see was darkness, but it was the head of a bird. And then
Oh.
in the dream, I'm like, I'm laying there in my bed, and the being, and I said, "Who are you?" The
Hmm.
younger me would have been like cringing, pulling my
Right.
blanket, scared to death.
Yeah.
I said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm not afraid of you." Because I
Right.
didn't know who or what it was. I said, "I'm not afraid of you." I said, "I'm sending you love. I'm sending you love. I'm sending you love."
Yeah. Yeah.
And as the
Good.
whatever was walked in, I asked again, "Who are you?"
Uh-huh.
And the being said, "I am Ra." And I blacked out. I don't know whatever. I don't know what happened, what took place after that
Yep.
was the
Yep.
end of it.
I knew for sure that you were going to say it was Egyptian
Yeah.
because there's what is it, Anubis or the
Yes.
the bird head? Yeah.
Mhm.
So it must be that you probably already know that you lived in a
Yeah.
period of time that was in ancient Egypt. That must have been very cool for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
cool, but I always wonder, and I need to ask my guides this, why is
Mhm.
it when the juicy part of whatever it is where experience is about to happen, it's like you drift off. You don't get to see it. You don't get to experience. I'm like, I want to know what happened.
Right. I'm wondering if you drifted off and actually had a conversation, but just can't remember it right now, you know?
That's probably what I think.
Yeah, because it would seem to me that this particular, entity, and if it was Ra, that's the sun god, oh my
Mhm.
god, but the communication, you could almost ask him to come back in, Akela, before you go to sleep, if you
Yeah.
wanna talk to him,
Yeah.
and say, "What is my mission here?" And, I think it's wonderful that welcome, I'm glad you're here, and also if we feel it, we can say, "I am protected by, so nothing can happen," or call in your angels or whatever, but that's
Yeah.
a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
Did you
And
end up having an Akashic reading after that and find out anything more?
I didn't have a reading, but in practice, I had someone look into it for me, and they kind of
Okay,
like gave me a little bit of insights.
good.
Because I've
Good.
had a couple of interesting dreams. So I chuckled when you said, "What mission am I here for?" Because Alice, I tell you, I think they have me on missions, unlike all of us, every night.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we wake up more exhausted than we do restful, I think, yeah. I
Yes.
agree. I agree.
Oh,
Well, there's something also about the fact that if we allow those missions to happen, they'll keep giving. So you can say to them, "Tonight, I'd really like to sleep, so give me a break, would you?"
and that is so true. I
Uh-huh.
remember one night, I don't know, something I saw on the news a while back, and I think it had to do
Mhm.
with kids and kids being abused and stuff. And it really
Mhm.
bothered me that night.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
went to bed and was thinking about it, and I was crying, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know,
Yeah,
kids are innocent.
they are. They
And
are.
while I was laying in the bed, and this is when I realized how powerful we are. I
Mhm.
said to God, creator, source, whoever, we want to call, I
Mhm.
said, tonight, I it's okay. I don't need to have a good night's sleep. I give my good night's sleep to a child or children who really needs that protection,
Oh,
who
I
needs
never
to
thought
feel
that's
safe.
beautiful. That's a wonderful gift.
Well, so I just said it, right, not knowing
Okay.
anything was
Yeah.
going to happen. I woke up the next morning. I was exhausted. I was like, "What the hell happened?" Excuse me. I said, "What the
No,
heck
it's okay.
happened last night?"
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
"I'm so tired. I'm drained." And my mom was like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, I did not sleep well. It's not till later in the day I remembered
That you did that.
you gave up your night's sleep. And I was like, "Man." But at
Yeah.
least I know that a child or multiple children were able to sleep without fear that
Yeah.
night.
And that's so important. It
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
That's a beautiful, beautiful gift that you gave them.
Yeah.
I remember in the beginning days of the dream show that we do in the Dreaming Remembering,
Mhm.
we decided we were going to go to Ukraine. It was in the very beginning when Putin had just gone in and everybody was really bad off. And I remember Angela Cardamansi Mesquite
Mhm.
went when she was one of us, and she came in after the thing, and she said, "I remember all kinds of things." She said,
Wow.
"I remember helping people, helping children leave, telling us all these wonderful things that she did to
Yeah.
assist the others." And then she said, "I I stepped on something and I broke my foot." And when she woke up, her foot
It was
was
hurting.
broken.
Wow.
Yes. And I know. And we're all like, "Oh," so we have to be careful.
Careful. Yes.
Literally, we take even when we're dreaming, I guess. I don't know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just saw
Mm.
Wayne Rich's comment. He said he never gets a break from dreaming.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
with you. I have 3, 4, 5 dreams a night.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yep.
but I was told a while back to document them. So I do document all my dreams, the ones that I can remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. Our dream show, as you know, probably, and I know it's late, and if you have to go to work the next day and you're on the East Coast, but our dream show has really has grown and grown, and we're having so many wonderful prophetic dreams,
Yeah.
and helping each other, I think, in sharing them. But we're helping those outside of the dream world, and that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. 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 Dupre wonders, do you ever get attacked during dreams?
Um, when
Hmm.
I twice, when I first started on this journey, it was funny.
Uh-huh.
I'll tell the story. I had a dream I was being attacked by it was a snake, a huge snake. Oh my goodness. And in the dream, I was screaming and I screamed out to Archangel Michael to come help me. And
Mhm.
but here's the funny part. So when Archangel Michael came in, or who I assume was Archangel Michael, it was like a blob of jelly. And
Well, he's a shapeshifter, I guess.
in the
Uh-huh.
dream, I am like, really? What is this blob of jelly going to do? This is a huge snake that was attacking me.
Right.
And the blob, well, I'm going to subset the blob because I called in Archangel Michael. So I'll say that's who it was. He came
Okay.
and actually overpowered the snake. And I had another time when I I was attacked, and I called in Archangel Michael again.
Mhm.
Um, and while I was in between that sleep and wake, I could literally hear the screaming of whatever was trying to attack me
Oh.
going down through me, like it was being pulled from within my pillow down. I can hear the screaming in my
Oh
ears.
my
And
goodness.
I'm like, what is that? What
Wow.
was that? But I
Yeah.
always call in Archangel Michael. And what I do now is before I go to sleep or even before I meditate or anything, I call in Archangel Michael and Metatron. But I used to call them and ask them to come sweep my house. But now what I do is I ask them to work beside me. So then I am standing center and I
Uh-huh.
have each on
Oh,
my
you
side.
got him on. Yeah.
I am the one doing, well, I shouldn't say I'm the one doing the work. That takes away from them. But I am the one still having my power while I sweep. And they're here like, okay, where your backup?
Backups. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So that way I
That's
still feel
beautiful.
powerful. Well, kind of,
Mhm.
sort of. But I still
Mhm.
feel like I am working with them. I'm not giving my full power to them. I'm letting them know that I want to learn how to do this as well. And I
Right.
do that
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. You're not giving over anything. You're being more empowered is all.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work. I love it.
Mhm.
That's awesome. That's a great way to remember too. Um, So Dupre, it doesn't hurt.
Mhm.
I also say, if you're really wanting to remember what your dreams are, that you say a prayer, call in, you can call in Michael or Raphael or Gabriel or any other archangel that you want, or your personal guides and angels, and ask them to help you remember your dreams. And if you're feeling you want protection, you can certainly ask for protection. It
Mhm.
sounds to me like what you did, Akela, was you had a lucid dream because you were able to do something while you were in the dream to
Yeah.
change it.
Yeah.
And some of us feel powerless. We feel like there's nothing we can do. But if you have, it's a different type of dream. A lucid dream is you're dreaming.
Yeah.
So let's just bring these people in to take this away
Yeah.
from yeah.
But Dupre, just to piggyback and with Dupre's question is,
Mhm.
remember, right? You don't want to be in fear. So
Right.
when I call in Archangel Michael or Archangel Metatron, this is more so like some nights before I go to sleep, I can feel the energy shift. And if I feel there's a shift and something feels heavy, I
Mhm.
definitely will call them in. There are other
Yep.
nights I go to bed and I'm free as a bird. I don't feel anything. But once I feel the energy changes, I am calling in the big guys to work with me to
Yeah.
remove, because I have little ones, right?
Sure.
And my fear, well, the it's not a fear anymore, but I know what I do, and I need to make sure that they are also
Of
protected.
course, you don't
Yeah.
wanna open them up to having any psychic attacks or whatever
Yes.
else that might be coming. Yeah.
Yes.
Good, I'm glad that's helpful. Yeah, Brenda T, imagine Archangel Michael says, "Just say my name." That's
Yeah.
all you have to do when you want him there. He's, like, instantaneously there for all of you. But you do have to say it out loud, I think. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
We have our own personal angels, and they sort of hang around, and we say to 'em, "Okay, it's alright if you, butt in here," you know?
Yeah. Or another
Yeah.
thing, if you feel anyway, another thing I do is I ask when I go to bed too, I ask my guardian angels to move in closer.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So, Diane, you see entities in your dreams as worms, but I also have a sword. Oh, well, that you come prepared. That's
Yeah.
what you do. That's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Mary Starshine, do tell us about Teresa Ford. I didn't know she was going to be on somebody's show. Let us know so we can watch it later. That would be wonderful. Um, yes, Judy, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, and really it's also about setting your intentions.
Mhm.
Do you want to remember your dreams? And it takes sometimes, for some of you said, I don't dream, or I don't remember any of my dreams. I've had people that have said that in the dream chat for years, and now they're remembering them. So it's just conditioning is really all it's
And
been.
and another thing I've seen others have said is to call in the whale energy. They say the whale
Oh,
energy also helps you in remembering your dreams. Do you
okay.
do you want to
Yeah.
borrow some of mine? Because I remember all of mine.
That's really awesome, though. That's awesome. I was I'm going to bring a dream that I had last week to the dream show this week, but um as I'm having that dream, I'm thinking, I've had this dream over and over and over and over again, and here I am again, but it's like a sequel.
Oh.
Yeah, mine's a sequel. Mine is the first time this happened, the second time um, the people saw me. The third time they saw me and they're mad at me. The fourth, it's kind of like that. And I'm having to explain why I keep coming back.
Oh.
And I think the reason in my own mind is I haven't addressed the dream.
Yeah.
And so they're just going to keep bringing it back until I say, okay, what does this mean, Allie? You need to figure this out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I used to have a recurring dream someone breaking into our basement area.
Oh,
Almost every night. I
uh-huh.
It's always my mom and I in that lower bathroom, and somebody's breaking in. Sometimes
Uh-huh.
my mom is in front, sometimes I'm in front. This was before I had the girls. And I
Uh-huh.
always wondered, what is this dream?
Yeah.
Until the year that I had my daughters, I was again sleeping. That time I was married. And somehow my guardian angels always I feel like they always wake us up in that kind of a weird
Yeah.
phase when we need to.
When we need it. Yeah.
And as I laid in the bed, I'm kind of like in and out. and I saw a dark this was different. This was like a smoky, like hazy, shadowy,
Oh,
but I can
uh,
tell it was a man. I can
okay.
tell the structure was a man
Uh-huh.
come into my room. And I
Oh,
freaked. I freaked
sure.
out. And I had, yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was
I would
somebody.
have too, though, if yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of spooky. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had to get some help for that.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
now I make sure I
Sure.
seal our house in divine white light,
Mhm.
just make sure that we're protected from anything because your neighbor,
Yeah.
sadly could be doing the other side of what we do.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It's and it isn't how anybody looks.
Yeah.
I mean, Ted Bundy was a really handsome young man, but he was a serial killer.
You see?
There's no way
Exactly.
to tell. Yeah, there's no way to tell. Yeah. So, yeah. You can ask angels for help when you leave the house, to run the errands, to get your own parking spot. I love
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The
Oh,
parking spot, I call them in all the time, and I always find a great parking spot.
awesome. Okay, so it's on her YouTube, on Teresa Ford's YouTube. All right, so everybody knows Teresa Ford in here. Just
Mhm.
go check it out, because I didn't, I thought she was very shy. I didn't think she wanted to, yeah, to be seen. All right, so we have two questions for right now, and since we're at the half hour, we're going to do a few mini readings. But this is a very fascinating conversation, Akela, and so I'm going to let you know that I would love you to come on to the Dream
Definitely.
Show, and I will, maybe not this week, but maybe the week after, I'll reach out to you, because we have the guests come on, and I know you'll just fit right in and have a
Oh,
good time. So,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, sure thing. All right. So, Anya said, yesterday evening, I heard something falling down or shifting in nearby bedroom. Nobody here but me. Went upstairs, and the digital clock display faded in and out one time as I looked at it. Is this my dad?
Mm,
Hmm. Wow. I have to tell you, I did a reading on you for a guy on Zoom, and he brought me into his, like, he walked into a different room, and he showed me a clock. It wasn't a digital clock, and it was one that was on the wall, you know. And this clock was doing all this. He said that clock has been that way since something happened, and I can't remember what it was. And I went, "Oh my god!" I mean, it's like he says this. It goes backwards, it goes forwards, it goes round and round, and he's changed batteries. He's done this, he's done that. So clocks are fairly easy to manipulate. My
mm,
brother ended up having my alarm clock go off at 3 o'clock in the morning several times, and one of the times it had no battery in it. So this is how they can get a hold of us, I think. So
yeah.
let's see.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Hold on.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. So I got it's not your dad. Um, do you have a brother in spirit by chance, Anja?
She
He
does.
does? Okay. So it was your brother. Okay, so these are to help
Yeah.
me identify who spirit is. I created my own and I blessed them and everything, my own little cards, and I just shuffled. And as I shuffled, brother popped out. So I said, wait, let me double check and make sure with my pendulum. And the
Yeah.
pendulum says it wasn't your dad. So um
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
your brother. Let me see. Can you
Yeah.
share,
His name is David, I think. I
David?
think that's his name. Thank you, Diane.
Thank you, David.
I think that's his first name.
Okay.
Akela, he just passed last week.
Oh, he just passed last week?
Yeah,
Okay. Mm,
I
okay. Let me
know.
see if I can get anything.
Yeah.
Was it unexpected? It was his passing was unexpected. Okay. I think that's why he's manipulating the clock on Anja.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know
Yeah.
how sometimes when someone passes unexpected, we feel if only I had more time, kind of that's what I'm feeling, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So I think that's his way he thinks he can catch your attention. I don't know if that's how you're feeling as well.
Mhm.
Um, I'm gonna use Talking to Heaven deck.
Okay.
He fairly
Yeah.
passed, so we'll see what we get for you from him.
Yeah. Yeah. Anya, I know that it used to do the same at your previous home when your brother was not on the other side. I'm thinking that your dad is saying to him, try this, you'll get her attention. Um, Now your laptop is buffering. Oh my goodness. That's your brother. That's your brother, honey. It's the unknown. And he wants you to focus while you're sleeping. So he wants you to watch your dreams, just as exactly what we were talking about. And he wants you to know that you've been divinely guided, and he's been divinely guided to make up for the time they were, I think it was 12 years they were not um
Communicating.
talking. Yeah. And she just found out that he passed that day.
Oh,
So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I really do. uh wow. Oh
yeah.
my. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
it's the feeling that he's letting me feel, and I'm getting full body chills from
Me
head,
too.
and
Yeah.
he's okay. He's letting me know that he's okay, right? So I'm shuffling the deck, and
Yeah.
he just transitioned. So we
Yeah.
don't know where in the process he is, but the bottom of my deck says, "It's beautiful where I am." And as I
Oh.
look at this card, it brings me a kind of a peace, joy,
Yeah.
like a calming, relaxing feel. And I
Yeah.
think that's what he wants you to know on you.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So Anya, when you can hear this, when you're not buffering, know that everything is okay. She really had wanted to make amends or, something beforehand, and that wasn't to be.
Uh,
But I- it's
oof.
amazing. I know.
Hey.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So
Thank
when you listen to this after the show, much love to you, my dear. Thank you, Akela. You really nailed it. You didn't know that about her. I
No,
know. I
didn't.
know you didn't. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Because when I saw it, I said, wait, she said her dad, but I got brother. And sometimes I shuffle, and when I don't feel something's right, I'll put the card back. And
Yeah.
most of us probably and shuffle again. But when brother came up, they wouldn't let me put
It
down
wouldn't let you do it.
something.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. No, that's true. And he was 11 years younger than she was. So
Um,
there was, and he lived, I think it was in Florida, and she's in North Carolina. So anyway, yeah,
yes,
wowee, that was beautiful. That was just
yes.
beautiful.
Thank you, Anya.
Uh-huh. Oh, now I can't find the one I just had. I hate it when I hit the button and something goes away.
There you go.
Sorry. Give me a second here. Oh, here it is. It's from Judy. All right. So she goes by they are Narcissus, but her real name's Judy, so you can call her
Okay.
Judy. But when she was 15, she felt something came from the window and touched me from my feet and up to my head in my bed, then
Mm.
disappeared. I felt it touching through the covers. I was terrified. What, who, and why? All
Ooh,
right. I know.
Judy, you gave me flashbacks.
That creepy guy in the bedroom. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Hi, Jean. It's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Hmm. So I just asked my team, first of all, if it's something that, you know, at that age, I would be terrified too. But if it's something that you should be terrified of, like now, and I gotta know.
Uh-huh.
Um, I also felt like if it was whatever that was, I, I'm trying to explain it, but I'm going to explain basically something that with me, right? As I was
Mhm.
on my path, sometimes when I sleep at night, it felt like if a magnet was over me. And as I lay, I can feel like all these little pins or whatever being sucked out of me. And I was afraid but then I realized that was part of my healing. So while I
Mhm.
was asleep, the angels, whomever, they were working on me, maybe removing stuff from me that should not have been there. I don't know. But I get something of the same for you. I don't know how to explain it, but I
Mhm.
feel
Mhm.
like eh,
Wow.
there was some sort of, I don't, healing sounds,
Like a cleansing
yeah, yeah,
almost.
yeah,
Yeah.
like some sort of DNA work,
Sure.
some sort
Sure.
of something like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm a pull. You can go ahead if you whatever you have.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's interesting she said that because I got an angel.
Uh,
And the word is hubris, and hubris means pride. And when we're 15, we know everything, right? I mean, that's a joke, but I think I feel the same way. I feel like the angel came down, descended, and also reminded you that the magic of the mind is available to you. In other words, it may have seemed what this angel did was impossible, but it wasn't. And so your mind is telling you something very, very different. It was also meant to provide you with inspiration to tell you when your time was ready that you would be called upon and you would find your way. And so, you had to wait a while, but you're sort of working on that goal right now. And now I get the message, just if this ever happens, breathe, 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 inhale and exhale, create a space within. It was meant as a way of upgrading or of cleansing you from that which teenage times may have been difficult.
and
So,
you know what's interesting? So I pulled from Keepers of the what is this deck called? Keepers of the Light Oracle, and I got for you Odin. And
oh,
does Odin looks like one of the angels on your card, Ali.
that's
Um,
true. That's
mhm.
true. Yeah.
And it says psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. So again, I feel like there's something that was being some work, cleansing, healing, uh, whatever you want to call it, but just trust what you feel it is. But from what I heard, it's nothing for you to be terrified of.
Right.
We're always terrified of the dark, right? Because we can't see, and it's like, who's touching me? Why are you touching me? Why are you
Right.
even in my room? How did you
Hmm.
get in my room? Yeah.
Right. Right. And Wayne says he felt he had the same thing, Judy, and it felt like someone poking his back with one finger right through the mattress. So, um, I remember this. I had a high fever and I went into the restroom to use the restroom. I was probably about, I don't know, I want to say 15 or 16. And I went to the bathroom and I went to wash my hands and I looked in the mirror and there was somebody else looking at me.
Oh, wow.
And I remember freaking out, at the time. And I believed in a lot of that stuff. But when you're that young, and of course, for me, I'm sure that my didn't help. I had a fever and everything. I was not feeling well, but it reminded me at the time that we are not always what we seem to be, and that we are just at the beginning of our journey. And these entities, these angels, these guides, they come along to help us along, clean up the DNA, and help us realize that ego isn't something we should be focused on, more our own growth. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So she
Um,
said she already saw and dreamed. But I think when we're that young and we see and dream, like for I was so scared. So they shut the ability for me to see spirits. They
oh,
shut it down, right?
okay.
Um, but I've been told it's going to come back. But I
Mhm.
think that there's so much that we didn't understand. And now that they're coming in, now that things are shifting or have shifted, they will
Yeah,
come in to prepare us for the next level.
that's
So
right.
I feel
That's
like
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what's being
So
done.
even though you were able to see things flying across the room and so on and so forth, it could be also that they were reminding you, you know this, we're going to let you know this, but you also have to keep your ego in check.
Yeah.
That's very important. And that was what one of the cards was that I had. It was hubris, which
Yeah.
means which means pride. Oh yeah, I can do that. So it tempers that. And so I think that might be it, Judy, but you're the one who would know more than us, really.
Mhm.
Would your and hello to JJ. And I also want to say again, hello to Sun Psychic Jean for coming by and seeing us here today. Yeah. It's wonderful to have you all. Amanda Carrion, I see you here. Lots of people coming in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So before I get to you, Chandel, we're going to do Brenda says she had a chi machine in her bedroom and she walked in there and found it was on and running. I thought the cat must have managed to turn it on. Then I saw it was not plugged in.
Huh.
I'm telling you, those are the types of things that happen. When my brother died, the coffee pot just went on and it wasn't on a timer. Yeah. So
Wow.
there are things that they can manipulate. They're easy for them to manipulate. The same thing with dropping coins, I think. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, they're light and it's easier for them to manipulate that kind of thing. So, yeah. All right. Well, I've got Chandel. I keep getting earworms for a week. One of them was a song my mom used to sing to me. I just started using my pendulum, which is very active. Is this my mom?
Okay.
And also you got to think about the words, Chandel. Think about what words you're hearing,
Hearing,
because that's what earworms are too. You get the song and the music, but what's the message in the music? So let's do a oh, I think Brenda might have had to leave, JJ. I know. I don't know what a chi machine is either, but I
I
want one.
It's one of those machines you get on and it helps move like your lymphatic system. It helps it to flow.
Oh,
That's
it
what I
moved.
think
Yeah,
it
rocks.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Okay, let me ask my pendulum
Yeah.
first.
Hmm. Thank you, Mary, too. If there's anybody else that would like a reading today, we still have 10 minutes. And this is the last one we've got up. So if you'd like a reading, just put it up. We can also do a community one. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Akela.
So
Yeah.
oops, it shifted as I moved. I asked my pendulum, are the earworms, as Chandel called them, are those messages from her mom? Are those songs coming from her mom? And I got a yes on my pendulum. So
Okay.
you can go ahead with whatever you got.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
What she was.
This is the message I got. I am a big receiver of messages in songs. So I get those earworms all the time. Then I start thinking about what is it that those earworms are trying to say. But I think your mom is trying to prepare you for something because she's saying, step out and be brave in whatever it is that you do and know that I am with you. Finally, the middle one is the squirrel. And what does the squirrel do but gather nuts and prepare for the time when they can't go scavenging for food? And then the robin says rebirth. So I'm feeling as though you are ready to step into something new, Chandel, and that you're preparing yourself for it, and that this will be like a new pathway, a rebirth into whatever it is that you're interested in. And mom's just reminding you by singing a song that she used to sing to you that she's never gone away. She's always right here.
Yeah. And the card I got, Chandel, and I'm not sure what the songs are, as Ali said. So listen to the lyrics of the song or songs that you're getting, because the card that came up for me says, oops, wait, wrong way. You have nothing to feel guilty about. So I'm not
Oh,
sure if it it doesn't feel like it has to do with her passing.
uh-huh,
It feels more as if there's something that you're either working on or going to be working on, or a decision to make. And sometimes we have decisions to make and we feel like we might be taking away something from someone else. It
uh-huh,
feels something along those lines, but whatever it is, you have nothing guilty to feel about whatever it is you have going on, or
mhm.
yeah.
Wow. And look at this. The song is It's a Lovely Day.
Lovely day.
So just even the idea that mom is that what a beautiful song for her to sing to remind you that each day, no matter what you're feeling, it's a lovely day because you're alive. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. All right. I've got a few now, few that we can read. Thanks, everybody. So I have Tuda, JJ's going to write something. Jean was wondering if we can she can hear from her Aunt Barbara.
Okay.
And Dupre, I have yours. And Jill, I have yours. And Tuda's going to, all right. Thanks, JJ. I got it. Thank you. All right. Aunt Barbara. All right.
Jean, if you don't mind, was she I don't want to say the life of the party because that's not what I'm getting, but she had this joyousness about her, this light, this like what I heard in my head was her saying kind of like, well, hello, darling, kind of thing. But it wasn't with that accent, but it's kind of sort of. But I felt like she wasn't like that quiet aunt who would be like, hey, okay. She was more of a little uplifting,
Ah,
energetic, not energetic as in exercising, but her energy was very kind of uplifting. Okay, okay. So that's who I have. Thank you.
okay. That's awesome.
Mm, okay. She's with you. Well, she's always with you. That's because she's my mate. Put the always in there. She's always with you. Um,
Mhm.
you talk to her a lot, Jean, and I'm sure you do, because I'm kind of like, well, I don't really know what to say because I talk to her. So you talk. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you talk to her.
Mhm.
Um, it's interesting too. I got that for somebody recently, and that person talks to the person they wanted a lot. And the
Mhm.
person said to me, well, I tell her everything. Um, I'm gonna pull a card.
Okay.
See. And we all know this, but I think it's more so the rose. And she says, there is no time where I am. Time is only on
Oh,
earth, right? But you know this. I think it's more so the rose because when I looked at the card, the rose stood out first before the words on the card.
oh,
So
okay.
she's sending you a rose, Jean.
Yeah. That's interesting because we talked about that on the show this morning a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. We brought it up. Yeah.
and you know what's interesting? the rose, as I looked at the card, I got another message. The rose is in this time capsule thing.
Oh,
So the
yeah.
rose doesn't wither away. So I think that's her
Her love.
everlasting love.
Yeah.
What I'm
Yeah.
gonna be, as and now I feel my heart being all fluttery. So
Oh,
the rose,
yeah.
more so than the words, Jean.
Uh-huh. Oh, wow. So, Jean, here's a message from your aunt. First, I get innocence. So, what I'm guessing is that she's known you, of course, probably since you were born, or knew you, and you as an innocent, as an innocent. She says, and now you carry the owl right on your crown chakra. You have the wisdom to impart to other people that are out there and seeking. And you also have the patience. And that's so funny because I said to Jean, this, we were talking about, don't ask for patience because then you have, but it's interesting because you do work with people who are new and guide them along on their way and support and love others. And she's also saying enlightenment is your gift. And of course, enlightenment is a static state. I mean, we can come in and out of it because we can't physically stay in it because it's such a high vibration. But you have been there and you will be there again. And she's just saying she watched that whole growth of you from the time you were little to now. So yeah. Jean loved that, Akela. Yeah. Thanks, Jean.
Thank you,
Oh,
Jean.
and you hear the song Secondhand Rosemary. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Okay, so Dupre says, my stove vent turns on and off, and this happens more when I haven't slept much. Oh, is my energy causing this? That's interesting.
Okay.
Wow. Thanks, Jean. Oh,
Okay. I got an immediate no on my pendulum and in my head.
mm-hmm.
And I kind of heard check it. Check the vent. It
Oh,
could, yeah, because I heard check it. It could just be a slight glitch, but it's not your energy causing it to
no.
go off like that. So let me see. Should the pre
I wonder if it's a trickster because I'm feeling it might be a trickster to see if Dupre is on their toes. In other words, to keep it doesn't have anything to do with sleeping or not, but it might be, well, we have to make sure that if you haven't had enough sleep, you're still aware of this. It could be this problem, right? That it could be something that needs to be taken care of. Yeah.
You might be onto something there, Ali.
Okay. I'm glad it's the vent and not the burner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase this question.
Okay. This happened when your dog passed over a year ago. You were emotionally stressed and drained. Okay. Then it's quite possible that when you are feeling stressed and you haven't slept, it isn't your energy necessarily, but it's a reminder that you need to rest or you need to take it easy or you need to cool down. Yeah. Yes. Oh.
Okay. So I asked, is it a warning just for your safety? Because when you're stressed or you're tired, you step away and forget to turn something off. You forgot to unplug the iron, something of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like it's more of, just a reminder when you are not your best to pay attention. Try to pay attention to the little things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I really did feel that way too. I'm getting here that it's a cunning way of getting you to notice something, and it is. I get fertility here, but it's almost as though the kitchen is a fertile place for possible issues with heat and other things.
Mhm.
And it's just reminding you, you got the wisdom card too. You're being reminded to be wise. And so I don't think it's your energy. I think it's just it's it could be your dog. I'm not there to protect you anymore, so I'm going to send this to you. It could be very well be. Yeah. Yep. All right. Thank you so much. All right, the next one we have is Jill, and then we'll do you, JJ, and we will be done. So, who keeps interfering with my iPad? The light dims and I touch it and it comes back on, and it's happened more than a year now. You sure it's nothing to do with the battery or anything?
Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
I know, and she probably checked that. So, yeah. Jill, is there a specific time that this happens? Like are you doing surfing on it? Are you looking up information? Does it happen when you're watching YouTube? I mean, when does it happen? No, for the battery? Okay.
Okay, so my pendulum is spinning, so that's not sure if there is some sort of energy that's interfering with it. So let's do this.
Live shows? Okay. It happens during live shows.
In live shows.
I feel like your energy goes higher during live shows or during shows, or you're invested in what you're watching or doing, and that fluctuates the energy of the laptop, because your energy and its energy, and wow. I get the health card and I don't know why. That's why I asked when does it happen? And I'm going to say it might be the health of your laptop. I don't know what else, that doesn't make sense. It says here though that it is safe. It's anchored in, but it's taking you from some of the sweetness in enjoying what you're doing because it's pulling away. But I think you just have so much energy, Jill, that it's like you're a conduit with the laptop. It's almost like you could make the battery charge by sitting beside it. Isn't that silly? But
you know what I just heard? Oh God, what is this stone? Oh my gosh, is it hematite? Is it hematite? There's one that you can, there's one that you can use with your electronics. Oh my goodness. And I'm have to probably come back.
That's okay. The anchor that I pulled is her belated husband, and it could be him. It could be him. It could be. No. Shungite. Is that
Shungite? Yes.
Shungite? Okay.
Shungite. For some reason I heard shungite. So I would, if you have it, you put shungite around, when you're using your electronics, Jill. If you don't have it, you don't necessarily have to run out and purchase it. You can like read up on what shungite does and envision the energy of shungite around you when you're utilizing any electronics. But shungite just popped and really work. Okay, and Dupree says it really works.
She wonders if it really does work. I think so, because I remember there was something, a little chip of something that you put on the back of your phone, I think, that helps take away the electromagnetic energy.
Yeah.
I was told that in Sedona, so I'm not 100% sure, but I remember somebody doing that. But
It won't hurt to try. It's just that it popped in my head. So
yeah, yeah,
somebody
yep,
sending the message, try it and see.
yep, yep. Black tourmaline, pyrite, yep.
Oh, black tone.
You don't
Okay.
want to block Carl. No, I know you don't.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So if it is Carl and he's like recognizing you've got your attention, he's got your attention. He could be making the light dim and yeah. Oh
It,
yes, Anya. I'm
it's
glad
not
you're back.
it's not Carl, Joe.
Oh, it
Carl is
isn't.
yeah, Carl
Okay.
isn't the one of isn't affecting it. It could be
Okay.
like Ali said, it could just be maybe your own energy. But try either shungite, black tourmaline, or pyrite, as Mary Starshine mentioned,
Uh-huh.
and see.
Yeah.
And you can call in the energy of the stone.
Uh-huh. Yep. Write love on a sticker and put it on your computer. There you go. Or you could write, "Hi, Carl." Maybe he'll come through. um, yeah. Yeah, it does look like a flat disc about the size of a nickel. Yeah, that's really good. So yes, Anya, I know you had trouble, but we had quite the reading for you. So I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, it's quite telling. So there you go. All right. JJ is wondering if there's a message about our DNA. Is there more for us to experience or open up to regarding our birthright? And then she says, like, is there something hidden in our DNA that we're not feeling or seeing? That's amazing. That's quite
Yeah,
a question. Yeah, yeah. And your guides aren't giving you any information, I'm guessing, JJ.
yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Yeah. Or you want maybe some validation. I don't know. That's all right. Um, well, my first thought is that we're always upgrading and we don't always know the extent to which we're upgraded or carrying new energy from that DNA. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, I know. Now I love your curiosity, JJ. It's wonderful.
Oh,
Hidden in our what fell on the floor? That's the answer. No.
right. Actually, 3 cards fell out. So the
Go
first
for it.
card
Yeah.
we have Saint Germain,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Yep.
Saint Germain, karma releasing, move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
okay. Then the
That's a
next one we have the divine director,
ah.
and he talks about intervention and purpose. Divine intervention is occurring. Know that you are being guided. Happiness is your purpose. Okay. 2 cards, there's some kind of similar. And what's interesting
Yes.
is it's different shades of, like, you have a purple, right? This side, right? A deeper purple. But then here
Yeah.
you have kind of like a magenta, but it's on the same cousins, I call them.
True. True. Yes.
And then we
Yeah.
have Sir Nunos, life force. Express your driving passion, sensual and sexual powers are increased. Sir Nunos.
Oh, the yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the guy with the
yeah.
yeah.
It's
Wow.
is that like considered pan as well?
I believe so. I believe it's one of the manifestations of Pan. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So
So yeah, it
yes,
sounds like upgrading. It
that's
sounds like upgrading. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
stuff is being released and we are being divinely guided, I guess. And we know we're not all growing at the same pace. So when the time is
right.
right, whomever, stuff is releasing and it's being divinely guided and intervention is taking place. And
Yeah.
then Sir Nuno's life force, express your driving passion. I need to
Mhm.
see what that Sir
Okay.
Nuno's. I'm gonna pull him from the book
Okay.
because I don't know much about Sir Nunos.
Mm-hmm. So
Um,
JJ says karma releasing, divine intervention, live force, magenta, purple, green.
yep, and
Upper chakras,
yeah.
uh, because violet, the violet flame, yeah, the violet flame is there. And also the crown chakra is represented by that middle guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the other, I want to say, is our lower nature. So it could possibly be our DNA before it's upgraded. And so it's moving up the chain. I get first nature. Notice the harmony around you, and there's your nature card. I
Mm-hmm.
get here hard work. We've been doing the hard work like busy bees. And it says here, we've committed and we've persevered. And so I think it's not a one-step process. That's my feeling. I'm feeling like they're saying, just like the honeybee, you have to have everybody working together in order to make the honey. And one bee doesn't make all the honey. So we're all committed. We're all persevering. We're all working on getting that DNA upgrade. And it says to make sure that we set intentions and plant the seeds and watch them grow. So I think we've done that too. I think we're in the position right now where we're just sort of integrating, and that's why some of us aren't sleeping well, some of us are having a harder time with things, and it's not that we, and so the idea that something's hidden in there,
Yeah.
yeah, makes a lot of sense because they like it when we live in the mystery of life.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'll let you read what you said you
Yeah.
wanted. Yeah.
So with Sir Nunos, it says there is a deep buildup of life force within you now and a need to channel it into action. You may have extra energy or be more alert than usual, or be aware of a sense of increased sensual or sexual energy. If you have been unsure how this ties into your spiritual path, know that it can allow you to access the richness of your soul. When we are not expressing ourselves sexually, our spiritual potential can become tamed or muted. So if you are denying yourself a desire, ask yourself how you can fulfill it. Ask Sir Nunos to help you access your sexual self so that you
Mhm.
can express it with integrity and in a way that honors your soul. If you and your partner are trying for a child and this card appears, fertility is very possible, especially if Bridget, Sir Nunos's twin flame, is present too.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Bridget is she is it's they call her bride
Mhm.
in Celtic lore, and it is her Imbolc, I'm probably saying it
Yeah.
wrong, is on the 2nd of February. And so Bridget is right now very important. And I find that to be most interesting. And I have always heard that we can take sexual energy for sex, or we can put that into our spirituality and we can use it. And yeah, so
And you know
we've
what?
got hidden powers. Yeah.
And you know
Go
what
ahead.
I like when I read Sir Nunos, right?
Yeah.
There is, and this may be a little off, but there are so many of us, male and female, who have had some sort of trauma as children, right?
Oh yeah.
So we've blocked that part of us. So I think it's also to reclaim that power, reclaim who you are, what was stolen from you, step
Right.
into it. And
Yep.
it's a lot of work, but I feel like that's part of what this card talks about.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
You're welcome, JJ. Thank you for the beautiful question.
Yeah.
And it's certainly good for everyone to ponder on, and put their own spin on it. So
Yeah.
that's wonderful. And I'm going to be with you in a couple of days next
Woohoo.
week. Yeah, she and I do our 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4. We do the double date. Yeah.
Okay.
So, thank you, Akela. Thank you for being with me today. I had a wonderful time. You
It's
are a very interesting lady and very talented, and I loved your readings. I loved your stories. And thank you for spending time with us, everybody, and to the moderators and those who asked the questions.
Yes.
Thank you for being with Akela and I. Yeah. So
And
take care of
thank you for
yourself.
having me, Ali.
Oh, you're welcome. Take
Everyone.
care, everybody. Bye-bye.